And we are live with my one audience member, Jonathan Autopole, checking in from the state of enchantment from New Mexico, where I watched somebody, the Albuquerque police, ventilated some crazy dude who was shooting at traffic a couple of days back. Fun video. Welcome to the show, everybody. Another Monday night chill stream tonight. Tonight we are Uzo free. It's going to be whatever. I got off work like early, relatively early. yesterday, Sunday, and I was drinking then, and I got like hungover, and I don't like to be hungover 2 days in a row because that makes me think like you're an alcoholic, you know. So I don't want to be, I don't want to go too far down the road of the demon alcohol. Anyway, Judas Flychai, the based Persian guy, is here. Welcome to the show, Mister Based Persian Michelin guy, checking in from even further west than New Mexico, checking in from the beautiful state of California. So what's going on, man? There's all kinds of fun stuff happening. I titled tonight's show is Excited Utterances. That's really a legal term. You've seen it like if you've ever watched the old, but even the newer courtroom dramas, you know, where the guys understood the witnesses on the stand, and the DA's like, "Where were you on the night of January 27th? Isn't it true that you stole a cupcake from your grandmother?" And the guy goes, I confess, I did it. I stole a cupcake. I was a naughty person, and whatever. That's an excited utterance. The heroic lawyer type does this rhetorical trick, and then gets people to say things that they didn't really intend to say, and so of course, and that makes the denouement of the whole mystery of whatever it's supposed to be. So, the two biggest things, really, I guess. Well, the one biggest thing is Elon Musk. Elon Musk to the rescue. He's now apparently he's made an offer for Twitter. He's going to buy Twitter. Everyone on Twitter is all excited. Oh, Donald Trump's going to come back. We're all going to be able to say the N word. We're all going to be able to do, I don't know, Holocaust denial or whatever they want to do. Like this is good. This is going to magically change everything because Elon Musk, he's going to technically control one social media platform, Twitter, and that's going to profoundly change everything. And I don't really think so. I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. But people they just got to have a hero. And they don't understand that Elon has his, where's his not this one. This one. This started earlier, you know what I mean? And I've seen this on a few other platforms. But there's, if you think that he doesn't have people working to make him appear to be the good, virtuous, moral Superman that we all need, this was from April 17th of the April 17th of this year, right? And what is, come on, click share, James, come on, share. Did you bring enough? Why aren't you doing what I want you to do? Here we go. It never works at the speed I want it to work. I would much prefer things go more smoothly, but it's boomer tech. It's not much more than boomer tech. And let's see how long it takes. Really crap. What if I shut this off? Again, resource management. All of the world is resource management. Why is my screen share not screen sharing? Oh, it's taking its time. It's really quite leisurely for this is the Monday night chill stream, but we're not that chill that we. I mean, let's face it. Without the screen shares, what is the show? What is the point? What is the point if I cannot farm others' content? If I cream of social posts to bring the book, The Years of Great Silence by Jonathan Otto Pole. And this thing is still not going. Man, this is this is really quite leisurely. Okay, it showed up on my end of the screen. This is going to be a tough one. It's good. It's good that I am not. It's good that I'm not drinking alcohol, because I would get more frustrated that this thing still is not showing up. The name of all things technological will this not show up? It will. It will. Hey, oh, look at the joy on my face. All right. This is from Tesla owners of Silicon Valley on April 22nd. You know, you want to talk about, during the production hell in 2017, and right there with them, he slept on the floor because he was hungover and he just passed out. You know what I mean? The idea that, he's putting the fucking lug nuts on a Tesla, the worst fucking propaganda. And if you think that Elon Musk is not behind this, literally it's Tesla owners of Silicon Valley. Are you kidding me? But he has his paid propagandists, just like they all do. And then you see a much younger Musk. He looks pretty skinny there. He actually looks skinnier than he really does. He's pretty fat these days. And but he has a lot of stuff like that going on. He has a girlfriend called Grimes. I don't know who the fuck that is. It's like some crazy singer. She's like, I don't know, she's 28, but she looks like she's 12 or something like that. And she claims that they broke up. They broke up because he lives in Los Angeles and she lives in Texas. And the guy who's going to fly to Mars didn't want it. Like LA to Texas was too far for him. You know what I mean? Like too much of a long distance relationship. The guy who wants to fly to Mars doesn't want to fly from LA to Houston or Dallas or wherever the fuck she lives. Anyway, but she claims, and 100% she's doing what he wants behind the scenes, that he lives in a tiny house and eats only like 8 scoops of peanut butter a day, or like something. I don't know where they came up with this. They must have been howling like fucking hyenas, drunk on God knows what, like, I don't know, the blood of fucking human children, when they came up with that shit. And I'm like, yeah, take a look at Elon Musk. He's not living on 8 teaspoons of fucking peanut butter a day. Take a look at a recent picture of him. He's living, he's living on like 8,000 calories a day. Quite a well-fed man, as the wealthiest man in the world. But this is the world we live in, and increasingly, he's just as bad as this next guy who is not a good guy. We can all boo, we can all hiss, we can all feel good about indulging in your hatred of the one and only Jeffrey Bezos. Jeff Bezos, the horrific CEO of Amazon.com, which my old alma mater, Staten Island, was the first place to actually unionize a Amazon warehouse. Zoo is in the chat. Musk bought Twitter. That is exciting, sir. We have just gone over that. You have showed up to the party just after we popped the corks on the champagne. But here's how Jeff Bezos, who they have calculated earns $152,000 per minute. On that screen you see is a message to the workers that as they go through their 10 or 12-hour shifts, they have a chance, once you log in, to win a $2 snack. There's a raffle for a snack that is valued at $2. So, and you might be the lucky hamster in the fucking wheel that gets the extra little pellet of whatever the fucking of Soylent Green or whatever the fuck they feed you in an Amazon warehouse. And if you think that Elon Musk is morally superior to Jeff Bezos, you are not living. You are not, sir, living in the real world. They are precisely the same. You don't get to where they get in life by being by sharing or by not taking all of it for yourself. All of it more for me, more for me. What you have is mine. What I have is mine. What those people over there have is also mine. That's how you get to be the richest man in the world or the richest men in the world. None of them are good people. They are not morally good in any way, shape, or form. Some have better paid propagandists, whatever you want to call it, PR people, right? Promotional people. Way back in the early days of the Rockefellers, when Rockefeller was like the first visible billionaire in the United States, there was a big backlash. People resent people with, that level of wealth. And Rockefeller hired some like New York publicist to rehabilitate his image. And he said, wherever you go, you should give out dimes to children. And that's what Rockefeller would do. He would give dimes to children. And back then, in the 1920s, the dimes were real silver, so they're actually worth something. So that was the thing. Rockefeller, wherever he went, kids would go, "Hey, Mr. Rockefeller, give me a dime," and he had whatever pockets full of dimes for kids, and that tiny, less than symbolic act rehabilitated the Rockefeller image back then. And if you think that Elon Musk sleeping on the production line, like if you believe that story, you know what I mean? That he passed out drunk or something, or fucking from Xanax or whatever the fuck drugs he fucking takes. Sure, I believe that, but that he was, working with that fucking, putting on lug nuts and making sure the windshield is fucking watertight around. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? On the Tesla production line. Yeah, I don't think so. But this was part of the build-up to now. Now he's going to rescue everything. Now he's going to fix everything. Elon Musk is good. His power now, his power level is, I don't know, so great that perhaps this won't even worry him. Let me show you this. I should have cropped this differently. But this is another great Twitter follow. Alan McLeod. What's Alan tweeting? What did he tweet? This was on 19 April 2022. The white box, it's like I said, I should have cropped it differently, but you can see a picture of Elon rolling his eyes to the heavens. And what the white box says is that Mexico's lower house, meaning its lower house of representative, supports the nationalization of the lithium reserves in Mexico. So Mexico has lithium that you can mine to make batteries for Tesla cars, and Mexico does not want to get ripped off by Elon Musk. So the Mexican Congress is going to nationalize all of those mines so that the government of Mexico gets fairly compensated for any lithium mining and any and refinement or manufacture. So that's a story that's from April 19th. Then underneath that, you can see Mr. McLeod says, sounds like the U.S. State Department are about to get very concerned about human rights in Mexico. Absolutely, you know what I mean? The war on the cartels, the corrupt Mexican government, which has been corrupt since the Inca days, you know what I mean? Since they were chopping people's heads off, they chopped heads off, but they also took you to the top of the pyramid and cut your heart out. They were doing that from the conquistador days, but now all of a sudden, the U.S. government, which, has not one bad word to say about Mexico, do not be surprised if you see anti-Mexico stories all over the place. And that's mostly because they will be demanding a much higher price for their lithium ore from your hero Elon Musk than he wants to pay. right? Lithium prices are up about, I don't know, about 400% recently. So the whole lithium thing is a complete disaster. So this is the globalization of the Dindus, right? This is for real. Zelensky and George Floyd together. You know what I mean? The flag on the left of that building says Ukraine can't breathe, and then you see a poster, right? Ukraina Gorgegum or whatever the fuck. Ukraine can't breathe. There's literally the same people who burned all of America that have that level of power, that made everyone shut up, that made the police stand aside and do nothing, right? That the FBI couldn't stop them. Nobody could stop them, right? While BLM ran through this country, those piles of bricks you saw in all these cities, all those riots, those same people are the people who are trying to save Ukraine, which Zelensky, the Jewish guy on the left, with the pointy nose, not the black guy on the right with the wide nose, is now demanding about $7 billion a month to rebuild some kind of Marshall Plan, I guess, for the Ukraine. And a while back, I'm sure some of you will recall, some of you who are following the show closely will recall I said that it's possible, or at least back at, a few months ago, the Ukraine said that they might be using nuclear power. And that seemed like very exciting news at the time. However, Jonathan Pohl, Zelensky needs $7 billion a month for cocaine. Yeah, well, he's only 5 feet tall, so I think he needs to snort like a kilo a day to keep him high enough to look a 6-foot man in the eye. So this one from Mr. Magoo, PhD, on 22 April of 2022. Breaking: the Ukrainian central bank bans Bitcoin purchases with the local currency. So you cannot buy Bitcoin used in the Ukraine using Ukrainian money. Ukraine will accept Bitcoin to fund its government and its war, but will not allow its citizens to escape a failing currency, right? So once again, it's a fake out, what looked, pretty exciting and hopeful turns out, once again, they're just faking you out like they always do. And I suppose I fell for it. I believed it. I reported on it anyway, like it was going to happen, because at the time I thought, hey, you know what? Ukraine's in a bad state, and maybe they're desperate enough to try and do something different. But the truth is, their level of control is full spectrum dominance, and the only people that are really going to defy the central bankers are people, probably in the United States, who are going to buy Bitcoin and custody it themselves. So even our friends, our cousins across the sea, our cousins across the ocean, have received their marching orders. And you might find it unsurprising if you think like me, if you accept my worldview, that Bitcoin is the most revolutionary technology and the most, really the most revolutionary technology that threatens the global system of control, because the global system of control is based on money, or really on counterfeit. But this was reported in Forbes magazine. Target the Bitcoin price. Internal documents reveal how the European Union could crack down on Bitcoin and protect Ethereum. Ethereum is a sort of a kind of a Russian shitcoin that is favored by Wall Street and obviously favored by the central bankers. This is what Zoo, by the way, Zoo right now sitting next to his Ethereum mining rig, which he's probably not going to like this, but I think he knows in his heart that that Ethereum is a shitcoin, and that may be the vessel that they use to bankrupt people. You know what I mean? If they can convince people to store their wealth in Ethereum, they can make that your wealth disappear um, overnight. Ethereum is essentially like any fiat currency. Um, it has more problems than I care to list. It's a shitcoin. Stay away from it. It's poison. If you want to be like Zoo and mine this stuff, because I think it's certainly cheaper to mine than Bitcoin, and then sell that, um, and then buy Bitcoin. I guess you could do that, but it's a little bit like saying I'm only going to sell drugs long enough to pay for my college education, and then I'm going to go straight. It's a little bit like that. Zoo in the chat, I paid $1,500 USD in the last month in electricity. That's how much his electrical bill is. $1,500. And then he sells the Ethereum. He says it is a profitable shitcoin. Well, if you understand it's a shitcoin, and as long as you've got a chair and the chair is made out of Bitcoin when the music stops, then you're in good shape. Jonathan Pohl paid $30 in electricity last month. I myself pay something like $12 or $14. I have a very low electrical bill. I get these congratulation letters from PSE&G here in New Jersey, like, oh, you use so much less electricity than everyone else. I'm like, listen, one night a week I do a crappy internet show, you know what I mean? And then the rest of the time I just come home, I have the lights on for 5 minutes while I undress, and then I go to fucking sleep. Like, I'm not using a whole lot of electricity until what's his name? Until summer comes and I got to throw on the air conditioner. I'm not here, or I'm sleeping. So I do not have a large electrical bill. Unlike Zoo, who is literally boiling the oceans in order to mine his shitcoin. But does the European Union and the governments of the European Union, are they going to do everything they can to hurt Bitcoin? Yes. Can you now see that there is a global war on Bitcoin? I hope so. You know what I mean? They're not hiding it, but lucky us, they're going to lose. Lucky us. Okay, that's. They really don't have a chance. So where is this one? But understand, it's not just. It isn't just the central bankers. The assault is all the time, everywhere, from every angle. Like I said, you share my worldview. If you believe storing your wealth in a system of finance that's controlled by central bankers, who mostly, if not entirely, small hats, if you think that that's an unwise choice, as I think it's an unwise choice, and you choose instead to store the value of your life, your money, in an alternative system, and I choose Bitcoin, you can choose silver dimes like the Rockefellers, you go for gold medal discs or whatever. But here's the type of books that they're pushing, right? The politics of Bitcoin, software as right-wing extremism. Oh my God, the right-wing extremists who dominate Bitcoin. And whoever posted it in the upper left-hand corner above the corner of the book, you can see they have the crying, laughing emojis. And somebody down below that tweets, guys, Spartan Hodl, I'm really hoping that this is not a trend. Really, I hate seeing this become a one-sided issue. My political ideology leans left, and it's hard to exist in this space because there is no environmental nuance and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Bitcoin is super right-wing. It is as right-wing as you can get. That is to say, it's as anti-communist as you can get, right? I don't think there's anything more anti-communist than that. What else do we have? What else? What else? What else? Yeah. So here's another one. And so this is like I said, since they're going to come out, they're going to do the FUD from every angle, nonstop, 24/7. You just need to see it and have the correct response. You need to laugh at it. You need to laugh at these people because they're not your friends. They're not on your side. They've never done anything good for you, and they do not have your best interest at heart. They do not. They will not. Nothing they say. The only value it has is for the lulz. All right, from CNBC. Right. This was, what day was this? April 20, 420. Happy 420, yo. Bitcoin tribalism is holding the crypto industry back, says the CEO of Ripple, which is another mega shitcoin, which I think has something that's like the Department of Defense sponsored that, or the U.S. Navy, something. I don't know what the fuck it is. But yeah, the tribalism around Bitcoin is holding back the market, right? We're these evil Bitcoiners. We're holding down these really good shitcoin motherfuckers. These fucking venture capitalists, fucking scumbags who are looking to rip you off and laugh while they're fucking doing it. And Bitcoin is stopping them from really ripping people off in the way that they feel that they are entitled to do. So yeah, that's a pretty good I don't know, spectrum of opinion. What you're going to see constantly. Remember, this kind of stuff leaks into your head, and you have to, if you don't consciously, deliberately push back against it, it could confuse you. Don't let that happen. 420. We got to talk about 420. Oh man, what is this? This was celebrated all over the New Jersey papers. What's his name? Here we go. Judas Fleischai, the based Persian Michelin guy, who I believe occasionally has toked on a marijuana cigarette. I believe it has happened on more than one occasion. Will no doubt have. Hopefully, he enjoyed Pothead Christmas, because that's what I call 420. I call it a Pothead Christmas. I don't think people don't like it when you call it Pothead Christmas, because basically people don't like when potheads don't like being made fun of. But this is one from one of my favorite accounts, and this really happened. This is on 420, a Newark, New Jersey police officer who was directing traffic, and I don't know where this guy's gun is. His gun is not on his holster. He was smoking a blunt with whoever the dude in the blue hoodie is, and it was on video. And he took like a massive hit. The cloud of smoke that came out of that cop's lungs was could have hidden his police car. So it is now legal. This is how insane it is. It's legal to recreationally smoke marijuana in the state of New Jersey. They made a big deal out of that, and now you got a cop smoking on the job in uniform, and what could possibly go wrong, right? You have a Negro police officer high on marijuana who doesn't even know where his fucking gun is right now, policing you. Yeah, things could go badly for you real fast. So the world is crazier and crazier, and it's not getting any better. Please pay attention and be appropriately scared of everything. You have to think hard and avoid stuff, because crazy people are everywhere. This one worried me when I saw it, because I didn't know what the backstory to it. This guy, because this happened just the other day in front of the Supreme Court. I mentioned last week that the NYSERPA verdict, that gun verdict, is due in about 8 to 10 weeks, and I initially thought that this story was related to it, but it turns out it's not related to it. And I just want to caution everybody: don't read a whole lot into this, because everything is fucking insane, and it's going to stay insane and get more insane. This is a photo of the guy who lit himself on fire outside the Supreme Court. So he's a climate activist. So I don't know, what is he, mid-40s, 50s, right? And he looks like a typical, one of those kind of lefty guys. He's skinny. He's got a seashell necklace. He's got his John Lennon glasses and his whatever the fuck. But he's a complete fucking loon, right? He's upset about carbon emissions, so he douses himself in gasoline, and he probably contributed more carbon dioxide to the atmosphere, burning himself and then getting a helicopter ride to the trauma center, right? So this is crazy. And it's only going to get crazier. I'm just cautioning people. One, be aware of your environment and be ready to have a good escape plan. You know what I mean? An avoidance plan. And two, don't read too much into this. People are fucking crazy. There's way too much stuff, like, oh, it's the MK Ultra program and blah, blah, like I was mocking last week. It's not nanobots in the vaccine that are being activated by microwaves that are beamed down from satellites. You're just a fucking lunatic, okay? The world is full of fucking crazy people. Some of them are dangerous. You need to be aware of this, and you need to avoid them. You know what I mean? And have a good strategy for avoiding them or getting away from them before they go off. Because if they get hold of guns, if they get hold of knives or whatever, they're gonna fucking act like nuts, right? There was that Filipino kid. Was the one I didn't have the picture of. It's a Filipino kid who was shooting from Washington D.C., shooting out his window with an AR at passersby. I don't know how many people he killed. He had a picture of Yaqub. If you don't know who Yaqub is, you have to know Louis Farrakhan. Louis Farrakhan has this theory that in Africa, 5,000 years ago, there was a genetic scientist named Yaqub, and Yaqub did a genetics experiment where he created white people in a test tube. And that's the white people are evil and bad, and created by a failed genetics experiment by this big brain nibba named Yaqub. And that's that. And people, when the police went into this kid's apartment after they, I can't know if they took him alive, or if he shot himself, I don't even fucking remember. That detail doesn't even matter. But of course, the apartment's full of guns, and he's got this picture of Yaqub on the wall. And they're like, well, he's a Filipino guy. Why has he got a picture of Yaqub on the wall? And they're like, yeah, that's sus. That's suspect. That's suspicious. That's sus. It's not, because fucking crazy people are crazy. To try and apply a rationale to crazy people is to waste your time and your fucking energy. Trust me, I grew up with crazy people in my family. You're not going to make sense to them. You're not going to rearrange the words and then come up with some superior logic to make them stop being crazy. That's not how shit works, okay? You handcuff them, you tie them to a fucking wall, you put them in a padded room with a bowl of Jell-O that they'd eat with their fucking toes, or you give them lithium or whatever the fuck, but you are not going to outsmart them. You're not going to outlogic them. You're not going to show them that the world isn't the way they think it is, because their fucking brains are fucked up and you can't fix it. If they could have fixed it, they would have fixed it themselves. If the first 20 doctors they saw in their lives could have fixed it, they would have fixed it themselves. You need to understand there's crazy people. Now the warm weather's here. It's going to get fucking insane. Keep that in mind wherever you live. Like I said, Jonathan Poll's like he's in New Mexico, but there was some dude in New Mexico, 50 some odd. He's just, he's videoing himself screaming and yelling and shooting out his fucking door. And then the fucking Albuquerque PD comes and they fucking ventilate him. And rightly so. So crazy people everywhere. Protect yourself from them. Do not. What is this one? What is this one? Oh yeah, here's this is the kind of thing that shocks people unless unless you're aware of the ghetto and how things work. How black people be living. And this story, and just from the headline, I know that the people involved are diversity people. I know they are Magic Americans, basketball Americans. Didn't do is call them whatever you want to call them, but this type of headline is super common once you understand black people. Right? Car crashes, flips over with 4-year-old inside and an AK-47 pattern rifle inside. Suspect runs across the freeway to escape. So, some good boy who didn't do nothings with his baby mama's baby, or maybe it's his baby or whatever, in the fucking car, high speed, weaving in and out. It was around 420, so I'm sure he was getting his smoke on, right? He's got an AK rifle in the fucking car. Flips the thing on the fucking highway because he's texting. He's high on fucking weed. He's probably finger fucking the AK, all at once, and he flips the car over. And then he's like, oh, shit. And he just runs away like nobody's going to figure out that he did it, right? He's going to pretend that didn't happen. And as crazy as this headline looks, this is fucking absolutely every day to them. This is so normal for their type of behavior that that I don't think most normies can appreciate it. They just cannot appreciate that this type of insanity is every fucking day with them. Every day. And that's what they want. That's what they want to impose on you. And God forbid you criticize them. You criticize the people doing this. You're a racist, blah 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 blah. Right? And you're in the Ku Klux Klan with those other guys. With the black dudes in the Ku Klux Klan or whatever. So Judas Fly Chai, stop hating on weed. Jonathan Paul, Yakub made James and me, but not Judas or Zoo. That's amazing, isn't it? Like I wonder. There'd be we would have to ask Coconut Head, Louis Farrakhan, exactly, who created the others, the chosen people of the Judas Fly Chai and Zoo, the Chopstick Americans. That would be a fascinating historical journey if it could be led by the one and only Minister Louis Farrakhan. That would be incredible. Judas Fly Chai, based Persian Michelin guy. I love weed. I'm sure you do, sir. I am sure you do. But one of the beautiful things about living in a free country is not everyone agrees with everyone. It's also one of the sucky things, but it's actually one of the good things. This, I don't know how. I'm not 100% sure if this is legit, but I think it's legit. And this is not a good sign in a lot of ways. This is why the guy lighting himself on fire outside the Supreme Court had me nervous, because I thought, like I said, that NYSERPA verdict is due in 8 weeks or so, or 10 weeks, or whatever it's going to be. And I thought for sure something would happen, or some series of events would happen to try and move the Supreme Court one way or the other. If this photo is accurate, it's emblematic of our times. Joe Biden shook hands with Gage Grosskreutz, the felon who nearly murdered Kyle Rittenhouse and lied to the police about carrying an illegal firearm. You don't get into those events without being screened. That's a rope line or whatever. You have to stand there for a really, really long time before the candidate comes through or the politician comes through. There's no way they did not know who this guy was. You can see he's not dressed like everyone else there. A lot of people with an enormous amount of power put him there, so he could shake hands with Biden. Again, I'm pretty sure it's a legit photo. It's a little bit tough to see if that's the right guy. It's like, but it looks a lot like him. You know what I mean? That looks like the guy who Kyle Rittenhouse he was the one that Kyle was on the ground and shot upwards and blew the kid's bicep off or apart. So yeah, so that's where we're at. You know what I mean? That is where we're at. While we send $7 billion a year to the Ukraine and every single weapon in the Pentagon toy box seems to be heading over there. Judas Fly Chai. I need to smoke weed. Judas Fly Chai. I was smoking weed before you were born, sir. Young man. Let's have a boomer moment. I was smoking weed when I was 12 years old, which was like 1976. Now, mind you, marijuana back then was like 1/1000th. Like the stuff today is literally like 1,000 times stronger, like 1,000 times stronger. I wouldn't go near it like for anything. I would not go near it. What else do I got? Whatever. Not a whole lot more stuff. How come all of a sudden I'm down to one viewer? Zoo is gone. Apparently he's out selling some Ethereum. He's out in some fucking alleyway selling Ethereum to some unsuspecting children. And yeah, so I do not need to smoke weed. Mr. Fly Chai. And by the way, you can get gummy bears that are like edibles. I don't know if you know that you can do an edible. I've been reliably informed that edibles are quite popular. Jonathan Pohl, weed is legal here. We have 20 weed stores in our town. Well, it's been legal medically in New Jersey for a while. I think it was like less than 5 years from medical marijuana to recreational marijuana. Although there's only 9 right now, whatever dispensaries that are legal right now in the state of New Jersey. How much? My understanding of stuff is crazy expensive. But you know what? It is what people want. And I, remember when they said if we could just legalize weed, everything would be great. All the potholes would be filled. The crime would be down. No one would be lighting themselves on fire in front of the Supreme Court. No one would be flipping over a car with a 4-year-old child and an AK-47 in it. Just legalize weed and all our problems would be solved. Get faded. Start blazing. Don't they say blazing, or was that a 1990s thing, 2000s thing? I don't know. I'm not exactly, up to the latest drug slang. You know what I mean? It's a little bit a circumstance of being, a 55-year-old white guy, who works 6 days a week. I don't have time. You know what I mean? In my limited focus in life, it's like stack Bitcoin, lift weights, try not to eat too much crap food on the road, and avoid the fucking lunatics that are everywhere. Do it every Monday, do a show, and that's it. I have a limited amount of time for my hobbies. I don't have time for marijuana, and I have other hobbies which are pretty expensive. That they say blazing when I was in high school, graduated in 2012. Yeah, so 2012. So that's not bad. That's good. Yeah, so I don't know. I think that's where we at. We're coming up on 50 minutes, so it's about an hour. I think we're going to need to wrap it up. Mr. Fly Chai getting agitated. Oh, that was the thing. You know what? Perfect. Again, Mr. Fly Chai, thank you for this for the weed stuff, because I think you've. I don't remember because last week I was drinking, but there was a dude on Twitter, right, who is like a Bitcoin guy. A lot of Bitcoin people are pot people, or a lot of vice versa, whatever it is. There's a big crossover between those two groups, and I'm not particularly happy about that. Well, hold on, we're not quite ready. I'm gonna go a few more minutes, because this is a bigger an important point. That this pothead was like he has somebody in he imagines he has an organization. Somebody said something that upset somebody's feelings, and he's like, well, I didn't fire them for it, but I gave them a fucking talking to, and blah 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 blah. And the guy's like, dudes, I want to like create a community where all are welcome, bro. And then, but if you disrespect my mom or my girlfriend or my sister, if they don't feel comfortable, I'll fucking kill you. And I doubt the guy could kill anybody. I can't remember if I mentioned that last week, but it was like 4 or 5 tweets, and then he's like, "I'll fucking kill you." And I'm like, "Well, isn't that pothead logic?" It's like, in one breath, you start with, I want to create a community where all are welcome, and then 2 minutes later, I'll kill you if I think someone else feels bad, right? Not going to make it. You know what I mean? You're not. First off, this guy's ambition to create a community far outstrips his ability, right? And I think this is true for a lot of people. Your ambition is this, your ability is this. You need to keep that in mind, right? A lot of marijuana people are unstable. The people I've heard most Fed post IRL, like during the COVID thing about violence towards politicians, all were people that smoke marijuana. Why doesn't somebody go and shoot Governor Murphy? Why doesn't somebody go shoot what's his name, Cuomo? Like, why doesn't somebody do that? And I'm like, dude, you can't just say that. I mean, you could say that IRL. Saying that online was like, you're skirting a lot of, you're going to get in trouble, right? That's Fed posting. But the people that I've been around, people who did that, who said that stuff IRL, and they were all potheads, every single one. So if the current economic system changes dramatically, and I don't know if it's going to be a Weimar thing. I don't know what it's going to be like. I don't know what it's going to look like. But if the dollar suddenly loses its global reserve status, and that's going to happen eventually. Again, I don't think it's going to happen next week or 6 months from now, but it is going to happen. There's going to be a lot of consequences for this, but there's a lot of bad, negative consequences, but there's also going to be opportunities, right? And everything that's not priced in dollars, that's not valued in dollars, like stocks, real estate, et cetera, is going to become much more valuable. Going to put people who are not currently in positions of importance, maybe in positions of importance, right? So if you're some pothead, you're living in mom's basement and you got whatever 15 bitcoins or something because you don't pay any rent and you just smoke weed and stack Bitcoin, right? Because you got one thing right in life. If you suddenly find yourself with tens of millions of dollars of value, and you think, dude, I'm going to create a community where all are welcome, but and you think you're just going to be randomly kill somebody because you think they upset somebody else, that's not going to work out too well for you. You know what I mean? You really need to rethink that. But I'm not happy that a lot of Bitcoiners are stoners. They're paranoid. Their thinking is distorted at best, and they're unlikely to make it. And I beat up this person on Twitter. You know what I mean? And I did it for a couple of reasons. Because these potheads need to be kept in their place. You got to keep them in their place, and they need to be reminded that just because you got one fucking thing right in life doesn't mean you understand everything. And this is a lesson that nobody seems to fucking learn. You get one thing right. Oh, I understand everything. No, you don't. You understand one fucking thing. So keep that in mind. I've said it before, enclaves or citadels or whatever you want to call them will be a thing in the future. And those that are based on ideas that are good and durable and create value, the maximum good for the maximum number of people, those will succeed. All the others will fail. You think your ideas are so great. You think, oh man, if everyone would just listen to me, then all the problems would be solved. That's really not true, but it's fun to think when you're not in a position of power, and it's all fantasy land. Okay, you think, if all the world's problems will be fixed if we just get super negative consequences for this group that I don't like. I assure you, super negative consequences are part of what's necessary, right? That the negative consequences primarily fall on taxpayers and those people who are law abiding, but super negative consequences are not enough. You know what I mean? You need something that, like I said earlier, creates maximum good for the maximum number of people. Okay, and that's not just punishing the people you don't like. Judas Fly Chai, based Persian Michelin guy. Whatever. If more people got high, life would get better. Well, that's literally not true, but I understand you believe that. Like, that's one of those things like the Second Amendment people. I'm a big Second Amendment guy. Fucking, nobody likes guns more than me. Second Amendment people always say an armed society is a polite society. And that's literally not true. America is the most heavily armed society in the history of the world. And you cannot say that America is a polite society. Gangster rap, road rage, all this stuff. Again, the most heavily armed society in the history of the world. America is not a polite society. So the mere possession of an item, a tool, or whatever, does not incentivize behavior, does not control behavior. Okay, other things do. Other things do. Where's this? This one was. This is This is the way things really work. I'm surprised this guy actually not too surprised that he said it. But, beautiful Chicago, Illinois. I'm trying not to be super negative because there's a lot of negative stuff, and I don't want to be excessively dark and negative because it puts me in a bad mood and makes it more difficult for me to think of solutions, to be perfectly honest. And I'm talking about everyday stuff in my life. If I'm too angry and pissed off, then I can't figure out which screwdriver to fucking use. And that's mostly as I get older, but it's true. Okay. From Chicago. What's the date on this one? Only a couple days ago. A man who sexually attacked a woman inside a rookery building elevator will not serve any prison time. When he saw the woman again after police stopped him nearby, he allegedly said, "That's her. That's her. That's the one I got. I stalk my prey." And you can see a picture of the good boy, right? I love that picture. You got the American flag right near him. Some big important building in, I don't know what the Rookery building is in Chicago. But that guy has a very, very clear understanding of how the world works, right? That's how the fucking world works. Predators and prey, okay? And whatever, the term sexually assaulted, who knows what he did or didn't do, but he thinks of himself as a predator, okay? And he is. There are others who don't have his intellectual level understanding, but that's the way the fucking world works. And how many times does this guy get arrested? And they said he's not serving time in prison, right? They just let him go. He gets to go out. He gets to rape a woman, probably a white woman, and just go free. And, and he says, "I stalk my prey. I'm a predator. I stalk my prey." This is the world you fucking live in. This is the world that the state, the police, the politicians support, okay? It isn't going to get better. And people like this can destroy tons of lives. The amount of damage they can do is fucking mind-boggling. It is like incalculable, right? And Judas Fly Chai, I guarantee you this motherfucker smokes weed. I fucking guarantee you. Another thing you think about, smoke weed, life will get better. Nobody smokes more weed than black people. Blacks smoke the most fucking weed per capita of fucking anybody. And they are the most violent demographic in America. Nobody gets high more than they do. Right? And they're the most violent. They do the most cop killings. They do come on. You have to stop. I understand you're a guy who's not violent and you wouldn't hurt a fly and you like to smoke weed. That's great. That's great. But all the things you believe about marijuana are not true. Just like all the people believe, guns cause crime or racism causes crime. I say chopstick Americans, and Zoo goes into, Zoo and his kids are fucking mining Ethereum and making all kinds of money. I say fucking didn't do nothings, and some kid in fucking Newark carjacks a fucking nurse and shoots the fucking clerk in the liquor store after the carjacking. Like, my evil racism has magic powers. It makes black people do crime. It makes South Korean kids win the fucking national spelling bee. You know what I mean? So you can believe all sorts of shit that's not fucking true, right? As long as it's not tested. You know what I mean? As soon as your fucking belief gets tested, you get the shit kicked out of you. You know what I mean? And then you cry. You know what I mean? Which is appropriate. Judas Fly Chai in the chat. I love black people. Why? Why? You have no. They don't love you. I promise you, they don't fucking love you. You know what I mean? There was such a bizarre generic statement. You know what I mean? You haven't met enough of them. You haven't met enough of them. You haven't spent enough time with them. And people, like my nieces and stuff, like, oh, Uncle James, this and that, and they're like, oh, I went to school with this one and that one, and what a great person they were. And they're like, I know a good one. Listen, I know fucking 10 good ones. I know 12 good ones. Like, I work with blacks all the time. You know what I mean? I know 10 or 12 good ones, but their cousins are insane. You know what I mean? Their brother-in-law just got out of fucking prison. Like, I understand the full fucking spectrum of this. I know 10 good ones, 15 even maybe. Yeah, not 10. But I don't love all black people. I know who's a potential threat and who's not a potential threat, and I know how to handle all that stuff. You know what I mean? I know what to look for and what to read. When I see a dude like I just showed you a picture of, yeah, automatically I'm thinking thief, rapist, murderer, drug dealer. That's my go-to. You know what I mean? I don't feel fucking ashamed or embarrassed about that, because that is most likely true. And if Judas Fleischheit, if you actually had black friends or black people that were comfortable enough around you to speak plainly, you know what I mean, to talk honestly, you would find their negative view of other blacks is way more entrenched than anything I've ever said. But you'd have to spend a lot of time around the brothers and the sisters to know that. Anyway, 1 hour, 4 minutes. Buy Jonathan Poll's book, The Years of Great Silence, and buy 2 copies and give one to your friends. Go to your local library and request it. If you don't want to pay for it yourself, go to your local library, request a copy, and when they get it, you can read it at your leisure. Anyway, what are we coming up on? Midnight. It's the witching hour. We're 1 hour into this thing. Gonna call stream, everybody. So yeah, I beat up on the pothead people. I did everything else. I think I did everything I wanted to do tonight. And I stayed sober the whole fucking stream. Holy shit. This is like a historic moment. Anyway, guys, thanks for showing up. Zoo, Jonathan Poll, Judas Fly Chai, any feds that happen to be wandering through, and anybody watching this in reruns, I'm gonna put up the banner that says smash up that like button, because everyone knows I love the feedback. I'll talk to you guys next week. Good night.